zoomed in at all, or do you want to keep
You
it
can
with
zoom
the
in
credit?
and out more later. That, because the kids will be on the edges.
That's perfect, yeah.
All right.
That sounds
Good
good.
luck.
So, all right, brother.
behalf of Trinity, I simply want to say what a pleasure to have StringTime with us over the past 2 weeks. Thank you to the students, families, and faculty and staff for filling this place with music and energy. We are so grateful to be able to share this place with you, and we hope you enjoy this evening's concert. Thank you again, and now I'll turn things over to
Thank you so much, and welcome everyone to our StringTime concert this afternoon. We're so excited to welcome you to an evening of music and celebration of all of the hard work these students have done over the past 5 days. We are going to introduce our first group, the Minuets. This group of students has the least amount of experience on their instruments, and in fact, a lot of them had never touched a stringed instrument before Monday. So they've been hard at work learning all about these instruments, not only how to hold them properly, which is a feat in and of itself, but also how to play together as a group in an ensemble. And the pieces they're playing for you are premieres, world premieres, music that's never been performed before, that's written especially for them, in accordance to what we've been teaching them all about the open strings of the instrument, notes and rhythms, and we're super excited to show you what they managed to do this week in their classes. We have Ms. Caitlin leading them on the violin, and Ms. Tatum leading them on the cello, who've been hard at work with these lovely students this week. And I think without further ado, let's give a warm round of applause to the Minuets.
All right, can we have one more round of applause for the Minuets? All right. The kids know me as Mr. Candyman. I would love to introduce to you our next group of kids, who are the Rondos. The Rondos are a group of kids with slightly more experience. So they've been to school, they take some lessons, or they've been to StringTime before. So the music that is written for them reflects that. One thing that I want to briefly mention, you'll see in your programs. All right, we're good. Something you'll see in your programs is that all of these pieces are composed by a very dear friend of ours and a collaborator with StringTime, a composer, Daniel DiMarino. He wrote every single piece for all 6 weeks of StringTime for these kids. And what that means is every kid, every week, at the entire summer of StringTime is playing a world premiere. So none of these pieces have been played before. These songs are for them to play here. They can take them home. It's really special. It's something that really not many other camps get a chance to present. So it's very, very special. As you're getting set up here, something worth mentioning too is this arrangement of 5 pieces that they're going to play for you is a really, really lovely set of Baroque dances with all kinds of fast or slow or minuet-esque kind of waltz-like movement. I mean, it's really, really beautiful. So without further ado, let's welcome the Rondos.
class, where we kind of travel through time and take a look at how music and these instruments have changed over the years, and study the musical eras and famous composers who've been living and writing music throughout history that have influenced the way that we hear and listen to music today. And I have very special guests who are going to help me introduce our next portion of the concert. Next portion of the concert, our faculty members will be performing one piece of music from each of the musical eras that we study each day here at camp. And we play these pieces of music for the students a couple times throughout the day so that we could identify different musical characteristics and point out things that corresponded from the music to the time that these composers were writing in. So first up, I have Mariana and Alex, who are going to come up here and introduce and kick off our journey through the musical eras. So Mariana, can you tell everybody the name of the first musical era we studied this week?
The Baroque era.
Exactly, the Baroque era. And if you've never heard of the Baroque era, Mariana, can you tell us a little bit about what the music was like during the Baroque era?
It was very fancy and detailed.
Exactly, just kind of like the style and the fashion at the time. They were very detailed with their compositions. Very nice. And Alex, can you tell everyone the name of the composer that we studied from the Baroque era?
Sharada.
Yes, Arcangelo Corelli. And tell everyone something that we learned this week about Mr. Corelli.
He invented the Concerto Grosso.
Exactly, the Concerto Grosso, which if you aren't familiar, is a concerto written for not just one soloist, but multiple. And today we're going to play for you one of his double violin concertos, featuring myself and Mr. Kennedy on solo violin. Thank you to Mariana and Alex for introducing us to the Baroque era. Victoria and Simone are going to help us continue our journey to the next musical era. Which Victoria, what is the next musical era that comes after the Baroque era?
The classical.
The classical era. And how did the music change from the Baroque era to the classical era?
The music was less fancier and the melodies were easier to remember.
Yes, the melodies were a little bit more clear, and the music was a little less busy, exactly. And Simone, can you tell us about the interesting composer we learned about that at least started writing music during the classical era?
Ludwig von Beethoven.
I bet you're all familiar with Beethoven, but in case you aren't, can you tell our audience something that we learned about Beethoven this week?
He wrote Ode to Joy when he was completely deaf.
Yes, sadly Beethoven started to lose his hearing throughout his life, but that didn't stop him from composing. And one of his most famous melodies, the Ode to Joy from his Ninth Symphony, was written when he no longer had any hearing at all. One of his other most enduring works is his Fifth Symphony, which we studied and listened to this week, which we're about to play a little sample of for you now. So thank you so much to Victoria and Simone for introducing the classical era. Now, we didn't totally give you a fair representation of the classical era because Beethoven was known as the bridge between the classical era and our next era of music, which, Jimena, is called
The Romantic Era.
exactly the Romantic era. And what are some differences between the classical and Romantic era and ways that Beethoven himself started to change music in the Romantic era?
So the classical era is more simple and elegant, but the romantic era is more like expressive and more emotions, and they start to
Exactly. Beethoven was a little bit of a rule breaker, and those forms that the classical era composers like to follow were not as important to him as the expression of the music. And Caroline, can you tell our audience what the Romantic era composer that we studied this week?
Felix Mendelssohn.
And tell us a little bit about Mendelssohn, if you please.
Mendelssohn and his sister Fanny were really close enough to play instruments together, and he loved to travel, and he wrote songs about his travels. It was a lot. And he also wrote the famous song "The Wedding March."
I'm glad you mentioned the Wedding March, because that is the Mendelssohn piece that we're going to play for you today. Thank you so much, Jimena and Caroline, for introducing the Romantic era. of our journey through the musical eras, and I have Cyrus and Lucas up here to conclude our tour through the eras. And Cyrus, now we've been through the Baroque and the classical and the Romantic. What is the last musical era that we studied?
The modern era.
And tell us a little bit about the music in the modern era, please.
Anything kind of even if there was like a melody.
Yeah, there's a lot more freedom and flexibility that composers enjoy, and we listened to a few interesting experiments from the modern era and ways that they infuse technology into music. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So one of them was recording of a train while another recording of a string quartet on a recording of another string quartet.
Yes, it was an infusion of live music and recorded music as well as a recorded train, exactly. And Lucas, can you come up to the microphone next to tell us the modern era composer that we studied this week?
John Williams.
I'm sure some of you might have been familiar with John Williams already, but if you aren't, can you tell us a little bit about John Williams?
He's still alive today at the age of 94, and he made songs that you might recognize, like Jaws, Harry Potter, Star Wars, Superman, Indiana Jones, and more.
Yes, indeed. Some of the most famous movie soundtracks of all time were composed by John Williams, and today we have a little sample from Star Wars for you. This is the very fun Cantina Band theme. Thank you so much for Cyrus and Lucas for introducing John Williams in the modern era. our lovely chair of the board, and without her work, StringTime would not be possible in the way that it is now. And she just has a few words to share with you while we're resetting for our final song, which will include all of our students together for our finale. Welcome, Terry.
Thank you all for coming. I hope you have enjoyed the concert, and I think these young musicians are fabulous, and I think another round of applause is in order. StringTime. StringTime has been in Doris's mind since she was a little girl. She wanted to have a string instrument camp. She's been dreaming of it. And so several years ago, 5 years ago, in fact, we began to make it a reality. And one of the things that was really important to Rondos was to make StringTime accessible to children who might not otherwise have the means to be able to afford to come to camp. So being able to offer scholarships was a critically important part of the StringTime vision. So we decided to form a 501c3 organization, a not-for-profit organization, which can accept charitable gifts. And we are thankful for all of our wonderful donors who have contributed to help support and really make StringTime a real reality. And if you're so inclined on your program, there is a QR code that you can use to donate to StringTime, or you can simply go to stringtimemusic.org. Either way, we'd love to have your support. We'd love to see you at another concert, and thank you very much for coming.
And now for our special finale, which our students would want to keep a surprise. So you'll have to tell us afterwards if you can guess the song we're about to play for you. We are joined by our Minuets and our Rondos and our faculty all together to make music and have fun, which is what we hope this week was all about for your students. We loved having them with us, and if you'd love to come back to StringTime or to another concert, we have 2 more weeks in Burke to finish our summer out. And without, one more thing is that after the performance, we have a reception. We'd love to for you to join us and celebrate with some food and fun for all of these students' hard work. And now, our final surprise song. All right, wonderful job, students. You guys can take your instruments back over to the other building and pack them up. If you are